Hey, it's Ron. Just wanted to talk for a few minutes about communication and kind of taking your chances when you have them. I was thinking about this. Um, I was thinking about a friend of mine who several years ago, when a close family member of hers died, uh, it was very sudden and unexpected. I mean, it's hard regardless, but it was very sudden and unexpected. And uh, one thing that stuck out in my mind that she kept telling me was, um, "I hope she knew. I hope she knew how much I loved her." Do you think that she knew that, Ron? And by the way, excuse my voice tonight. I bit my tongue earlier today somehow or other, and it's kind of messing up my speech. But anyway, yeah, she just said that repeatedly for a while, and certainly part of that is the shock of losing a sibling. But my response to her was, "Well, I don't know. Did she know? Did you let her know? You don't even have to necessarily say the words 'I love you' or 'This is how I feel about you,' but actions. Maybe this is what I'm talking about. Actions always speak louder than words. The old cliche." Um, and that got me to thinking about my last conversation with my father, as he was sick for the better part of a year. It was about a year that he was sick with cancer. He was misdiagnosed for a few months before they finally found it, uh, which might have doomed him. But uh, we went from being estranged to we talked more and more on the phone and made a lot more effort to meet in person. It was a little bit hard just because I was living in Dallas, he was living in McKinney, and also, especially the last several months, he couldn't really drive anymore, so I had to go out to McKinney either on a day off work or after I got off work. But anyway, point being that we talked a lot, and uh, we we cleared a lot of things, and uh, as my uh, as his widow told me several times, his second wife, who my stepmom, but as she told me several times, that was very important to him, because he wanted me to know how much respect he had for me as a person. Not just how much he cared for me as a son, but that he respected who I was, that he loved who I was, although we were very extremely different people. Um, so I have no regrets. I mean, that was the last time I went out there. It was about, um, it was right around a couple days before Thanksgiving, and we had a fairly long conversation. I mean, it was more than an hour, and of course, he was very sick and very tired, but um, he was very lucid, and we had what was very fitting uh, as the last conversation, because it turned out. So I left there like 10, 11 o'clock at night, came back home, and the next night I was just too tired to go back out there. So I called. Uh, I called his widow. Um, what? And told her, hey, I'm just wiped out from work, and I'm not going to make it tonight. And I'll never forget how she told me that, um, not to feel bad about it at all, that she said, you're probably, it looks like you're the very last person he had a lucid conversation with. That he had gone downhill dramatically overnight and during the day the next day, and died about 2 days after that, I think. But I was the last person to have a lucid conversation with him. And she also stressed to me that, hey, if you don't make it back out here before he dies, don't stress about it. That, you got in that quality time. You got to have that quality talk with him. And, so you see, I have no regrets about that. There's no what ifs or this and that. And the same goes for my final conversations and meetings with James, my best friend who passed very suddenly at age 40. We would fight like cats and dogs a lot of times. Had a lot of arguments, a lot of rows over the years and everything. But our last several in-person meetings and phone conversations were nothing but good. So there's no regrets. There's no what ifs, like my friend with her sister. There's no what ifs. Did he know how I felt about him? Did he know I loved him and this and that? Because I wasn't taking it for granted. Same goes with my mom. Another very sudden death. My very last words to my mom were, "I love you, Mom." We had our normal, funny conversation on the phone. I was up in Boston, unfortunately, flying back that night, our last conversation, but there's no, oh, I hope she knows how I felt about her. They did know. All of them. Another friend of mine who died by suicide last year, about a year and a half ago. Same kind of thing. She knew how I felt about her. In our messages and phone calls and everything, we knew how we felt about each other. Same goes a childhood friend of mine who died by suicide in 2016. Grew up with the guy. His name was George, and same kind of thing. Although those were two horrible circumstances, dying by suicide, but there's no what ifs. Oh gosh, I hope that he knew I cared about him. I hope that he knew I loved him. How I felt. So I think what I'm trying to get across here is, take your chances when you get them. My mom always said that funerals are for the living. That, they're there to kind of comfort ourselves. And it's that old adage of send flowers to people while they're still alive. Send cards to them while they're still alive. Let them know how you feel. Just talking to them while they're still alive. Not taking the next day for granted, because the next day is never promised. Tomorrow's never promised. Tomorrow's never guaranteed for any of us. The next hour isn't. So, anyway, don't want to get morbid there, but just stating facts is because in this COVID pandemic, it seems like communication with people has suffered greatly. And I keep thinking about my friend who, gosh, I hope she knew how I felt. I hope she knew I loved her. And she's the only one who knows that. But you let people know these things while they're still around. And just urging people to just don't leave any what ifs or shoulda, woulda, coulda. My therapist always says, don't shoulda all over yourself. Don't leave any of those behind. Take your chances when you get them, alright? Okay, everyone have a great day, great night, whatever time you're watching this, and everyone stay safe, and remember, we are luminous beings.